Didn't Archie Bunker live out here?
I don't remember.
All right, so here are some numbers for you. Gaza, 22 days. Number of Palestinians killed, a little over 1,300. Number of Israelis killed, 13. But likely the most important number that people are not really talking about yet is 10, and that's because that is the date of the Israeli election, February 10th. So the question is, was Gaza actually about an election?
I think the people who waged this war knew that there was an election coming, knew that how they did in this election would influence their chances, and in Olmart's case, legacy, and getting sort of the mark of Cain off of his forehead that he had screwed up so terribly in Hezbollah and in Lebanon. So they were looking over their shoulder trying to demonstrate we learned. And secondly, looking forward, fast forwarding, hoping whatever they did in this war would help them in what is the name of the game if you're a politician, power.
I think the other date that we need to remember is January 20th. Because there were 4 weeks before George Bush left office, what the right-wing pro-Israel crowd calls the most pro-Israel president we've ever had. And to say that, and they wanted their 4 weeks of unfettered military incursion into Gaza.
Do you want to take that?
Hello? Yeah, I'm in the middle of an interview. The three that were in power, Olmert, Barak, and Tzipi Livni, were a kitchen cabinet, a trio of three that all made it clear the judgment was they could not decapitate Hamas. Let the IDF win was not the only variable. There was the international community, the relationship with the United States, there was the number of Palestinian civilians, and the hourglass and the sand was running out. But the man on the outside, who stands to be the major beneficiary, is Benjamin Netanyahu.
So this is the main road between Ramallah and Jerusalem, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And on the other side of the wall is still another Palestinian neighborhood?
Exactly. Yeah, I think that
So that's the old wall to the left, and the new wall. And this is dividing two Palestinian neighborhoods, not the Israeli side and the Palestinian side, but two Palestinian sides. So these are the stores that are now separated from the people who used to shop there. This is Bethlehem. Mr. President, tear down this wall.
The current policies are a ticking time bomb. In a matter of decades, Israel will be faced with a choice, either to choose to become a Jewish and undemocratic state and subjugate Palestinians and take away their rights to vote, or to become a democratic state that is not Jewish. That choice is down the road. The Prime Minister of Israel, outgoing Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Olmert, has said that repeatedly. He has said that if we do not have a two-state solution, it will mean the death of Israel. And the two-state solution is on life support right now. We have Palestinian negotiators saying that if we don't have a halt to settlement construction, I'm going to start advocating for our people to call for a one-state solution. Because of the demographic realities, it would be on their side. And the only way to rescue those two things, to stop the bomb and rescue the negotiating process that can save us, is strong American leadership.
There are arguably four states. You have the Jewish state of Israel and its recognized boundaries. You have the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank. You have the Gaza state of Hamas, and return back to the West Bank where the Palestinians covered a state, you have, with some exaggeration again, a settler entity, the goal of which, of the ideological hardline territorial maximus in Israel, is to make sure there's a Jewish state there, not a future Palestinian state. So I'd argue to you that anyone who's serious about supporting a two-state solution, and I don't think the clock has run out, but it is ticking down. I don't know if it's 11 o'clock, 11:30, it's late. And if you're going to get a real viable two-state solution, you've got to get rid of two of these four entities. You've got to make Gaza in the West Bank, the Palestinian entity, and polity whole and integrated, negotiating together for their state in the West Bank and Gaza with corridor and with a capital clearly in East Jerusalem. And the state of Israel has the challenge of yielding on the issue of the settlements.
And the settlers are just beyond this wall, right behind you. How long has it been like this, blocked off? 3 years, that's it. So they still throw garbage.
They still throw all kind of dirty things, garbage, sometimes bottles, stones, dirty water with chemical stuff in it to burn our clothes and to ruin our goods. They're trying to push us from here, to kick us from here.
And that's from the tea that the settlers poured. How old are you?
5 years.
We need to change the quality of the relationship that we have with Israel. We should be friends with Israel. Israel is a long-standing ally. We have a relationship based on shared values. But right now, our relationship is that we're sitting at the bar and Israel wants another drink, and we're willing to pay for it even though we know Israel has to drive home that night. We have to take away the keys. We can't buy that next drink. Congress is a step behind where the American public is. And polling right after the Gaza conflict demonstrated that, showed that 50 or 60% of Democratic voters thought that Israel should have tried diplomacy for a longer time with Hamas. That's 60% of Democratic politicians saying that? No.
I don't want to appear as if I'm a stone-cold analyst. I mean, the human toll of what's happened there is absolutely staggering. I find it abhorrent that participants in this conflict can be so blind to what they're doing or what the other side is doing and doesn't see the whole rug. And unless there is an attempt to look internally at your own side and be really honest, and also do the same thing for the other side. I mean, I don't want to be a Palestinian solidarity worker. I want to save my people and the Palestinian people together from an utter nightmare.
You're talking about the hardest work of all, though, Mark, that looking inward and doing the evaluation. I mean, that's the toughest work when it comes to policy and politics and conflict resolution. I mean, people just don't, it's painful to do that.
There's no end to the shade of gray. You must see the gray, but the gray is not a basis for inaction.